How's it going? My name's Cruz, and this is the start of Half and Half Garage, is what I'm gonna call it for now. So, I was out here working, and the last couple of weeks I've been thinking about starting a YouTube. I'm not a camera guy whatsoever, so bear with me, but just haven't been. I'm hoping this kind of helps me open up a little bit or something, but I have a couple projects going, and I got some friends that have some race trucks, and I like watching stuff like what we do, and I'd like to film this season going to the track. So today I'm going to introduce y'all to the Half and Half S10. So first things first, we call it the Half and Half S10 because my friends helped me build it, but it's a lot of everybody's parts put together, and a lot of things which you'll learn through this video is I've worked for parts, I've bought parts off buddies, and a lot of it's used, quite a lot of it's used, but everything kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, like motor-wise internals is all, other than, rods and pistons. So this is about the best way I can explain it. I was standing up front and I was getting nervous and everything. So this is a stock 5.3. Everything's internal as factory. I mean, other than it's got new, Chromoly push rods. I've replaced all the bearings in it, cam bearings, main bearing, everything internal, bearing wise and whatnot that you would normally change, I've changed. Then again, but it's Gen 4 internals, factory pistons. And then again, and that's all used. It's a used block, used heads, used rods. It's obviously I bought the intake off of my buddy. It's a tbss with a 102 on it. And then I've got some, I believe they're called Faster. It's on eBay. I bought his billet rails off of him. You'll see him on the channel sometime. He's got a black S10. It's like a 98, I believe, but one mean sucker. And I didn't want to copy him with an S10, but I had a Fox body at the time, and it was a bucket. Dude, that thing was junk, and I'm glad I switched to this. This is what I found, and he knew what he was doing. I've never built anything for power, so I kind of, I did follow him, but he let me do my own thing. He guided me a little bit on what to do and how things work, but I will never claim to know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's got stock truck injectors. It's got a Corvette filter, the regulator ordeal. It's got an AEM 400 LPH, 15-gallon fuel cell. It is 10 AN to fuel pump, 10 AN to the fuel pump, and then it is 10 AN to I believe it's 10 AN to the pump, 6 AN out, and then 6 AN all the way to the front. But it's just, it's the return style Corvette regulator. This stuff, like, this isn't a whole lot of power, so I think it'll be okay, and it has been okay so far. Eventually, if I want more power, then things are going to have to change, but for what I wanted and what my budget was, this was perfect for me. So I wanted something like streetable, but mainly track, and it definitely is that, but it's kind of it's a little loud. Fender exits, and I know, some people are going to have their own opinions, whatever, but I went with what I wanted to do, and I planned on this thing being more track than street. So around here, as long as you ain't romping on it, you're probably not going to get a ticket. So, if they know that what is like kind of a purpose-built thing, they're not really going to bother you, I don't think. If you're asking for it, you probably deserve it. So it's got some Summit Dragonfire custom plug wires. Honestly, wouldn't recommend them. I've had a lot of issues with them so far. Then again, if it's something that's pretty like you might need one plug wire, kind of, you know, different than the others, maybe a little longer, I guess they're okay. But mine is strictly because of the way that mine is set up. It just doesn't work that great. They don't clip on to the cool packs very well, and they're factory cool pack. And these headers they came off of an old S10 that my buddy had built, and I traded it was when I had the Fox body. I traded a nitrous kit I had for it, and I never planned on using that nitrous kit at the time. My original plan was to go turbos, and I realized how expensive that was, so I went away from that idea. And I now have a Dynotune. It's like the Camaro Trans Am LS1 nitrous kit, and it's upgraded to hold up to 250, I think, a 250 shot. I think out the gate, well, I haven't sprayed yet. I got to finish wiring that in. I've got most of it already here, but I don't make all the money in the world. I'm trying to do this on a budget, but my budget. So, you know, use that term loosely because a lot of people's idea of a budget is pretty crazy. But, I mean, this is expensive. This isn't something you can just kind of do on a whim if you don't have the finances there. So this is definitely, I've had this for, I think, right over a year. I've had the motor longer than anything. I built the motor first, and I have no clue how much I have into it so far. I need to sit down and kind of go through it and kind of get everything priced up. But it is technically, like, I can drive it on the street right now. Technically, I literally just took it to town to a little car show yesterday. I didn't enter the show. I just went to enjoy, look around, you know. So this is by far not a show vehicle whatsoever. This thing is beat up, and that's fine by me. I'm happy with it. It's backed by a 2-speed powerglide. It's got a 10-pack clutch in it, transbrake. I think it's got the turbo 350, the input shaft. We have no real clue what the stall is. It is a nitrous stall though, supposedly, and it works okay right now, but it definitely wants more. It wants a power adder really bad. At 65 mile an hour, it's about 3,100 RPM. I have 328 limited slip. It's a factory 98 GT rear end. Hasn't been shortened. All I've done is change the fluid in it. It's got brand new calipers on it. You know, it's Mustang 5 lug in the back. I bought these wheels for that Fox body. I think I spent $500 maybe on it, maybe $450 I think, on the whole set of wheels with no tires. And I just bought the Mickey Thompsons on the back. The fronts, I bought them new from Walmart. I ordered them. I wish I had the 17s on the front. I just don't like the way the 15s look. It either needs a bigger tire, which I don't think would look right either, but I did have to run an adapter up front. I don't like doing that, but again, I had to cut corners where I could, so that was the cheapest route on that. It is 28-10-5 radials, Mickey Thompson. It's got Caltrax. Also bought those off my buddy. He went 4-link, so he didn't need those anymore. I will eventually do a 2-inch drop on the back, and then I'll probably I actually have the blocks in my other pickup, but on the back, and then I'll do probably spindles on the front. But my cheap little homemade battery tie down. I don't have a shutoff switch yet. That is something that I need to add, something fierce, but there's a lot of things that need to be changed, but like wiring isn't all 100%. I've found flaws, but for the most part, I wired this truck twice already, and that is because I rushed it the first time. The second time, I changed most of it, but I didn't get all of it. So some of it still needs to be gone over. And like I said, the nitrous kit still needs to be wired in. I have. So what I need to add is I've got the nitrous relay with the fuse. I need to add the micro switch. The solenoids, they're already in. I mean, you'll see it in the video. The fuel and nitrous solenoids are already there. I don't have a blanket yet, and the nitrous bottle blanket or a purge. Those I will add in the future. It is manual brakes. It's got the TBM brake conversion. Dude, I probably spent over a week trying to figure out how the brakes are going to work in this, and I don't like it the way it is. This is also something that eventually I do want to change, but it works. It stops great, actually. I would like to do a manual rack eventually. I have a trans cooler with AN fittings on each side. That was one thing I wanted to be sure of, so that I wasn't going to be blowing a line and oiling the track down or something. You see your solenoids here. The first thing I plan on changing is the radiator. Mainly, like, it stays cool, you know, like for track use, it does okay. But for street, like we went to town yesterday for that car show, and I mean, once you stop, this thing just wants to heat up, which obviously doesn't have a shroud. That's a big problem, but this is not a big enough radiator for this. And this is a lot of heat underneath the hood here. Way too much heat. But like, this looks like junk, but I did this almost a year ago, and I had to pie cut the snot out of this thing, and I made it around the steering shaft. And then it is like, I believe 2.5 with an adapter up to 3, and then it runs out. But I do plan on, at least from here forward, I do plan on putting heat wrap on. I did, which now you can tell that I did plan on doing turbos. It's got the ICT billet cover with the 10 AN drains. Put the right jets in for probably like a 150 or 175. We're not 100% sure yet. Let me think. It is, you know, I got a B&M, I think it's like a Pistol Grip Pro or something, with just a cheap, you know, stand. I love the way it looks. Right now, so here, I got my transbrake here, and then the top button is my bump. And then I do plan on fixing all these holes. This is, once you pull a tranny 3 times in a row, it gets old and you just start cutting because you're pissed. MS3 Goldbox. So like I said, this is a MS3 Goldbox. This is how I run my screen for now. Once I have my power switch, I won't have to wait on this to boot up so long. It's pretty quick once it has like a constant power to it. I don't know anything about this. This is a what is it, a Raz, a Pi, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it's called, but it works great. I actually, you know, had a hiccup. You can literally see it and smashed it, but it's fun. I don't care. It came with the Goldbox when I bought it, and then of course you got your AEM wideband. So that's kind of the basic rundown of the half and half S10. I'm sure I've missed probably quite a lot of things. I get super nervous on camera, so bear with me. If you have questions, just ask. I'll be happy to answer. I know things that I do is not the same thing that anybody else would do. I do what I know and how I know to do it. I'm sure there's a lot of things that would be better done a different way, and I did it the way I knew how and from what I've seen work. And this is not, you know, obviously this isn't going to be no big hitter or nothing. This is just something for me to enjoy, and it's been the better part of a year trying to get this thing together, and I'm just happy that it's running and driving and I can enjoy it now. I've only now, like, it's like legal, sort of, you know, it's tagged and everything. It's got lights. It doesn't have turn signals. The only thing it does not have is turn signals. Headlights work, taillights work. But I do have to add a tag light, so technically that's something else I could do. I would like to video a lot of the things that I do to this in the future. I like channels such as like Vice Grip Garage. A lot of that, I love, like, not tutorial videos, but, you know, I just like watching people take on their stuff, you know. But Street Racing Channel is one of my favorites. I watch every video they have, and I love Billy and Tommy. The Falcon's probably my favorite car on there. You know, I did own one at one point, so kind of a little biased opinion, but I think it's an awesome car, and that thing flies, dude. I hope, you know, in the future I can make this thing faster, better, you know, stronger. But I love it the way it is, you know. It's not clean, it's not straight, so don't care if it gets dinged up. I traded, actually, I had a couple square bodies, which they were rotted out, and I didn't have titles for them. I got them on trade, and I traded 2 of them for this. And they were junk. Like, there just wasn't much more to it. They were junk. But what made me, you know, obviously this was the biggest reason why I wanted to start a YouTube, but also I just bought a 84 GMC 3500. It's a crew cab 1-ton, and it is the old, where I work, it is the old rig truck, oil field truck. Needs a lot of work, but everything I do to this, I want to get on video. And I was actually cleaning it out. That's why everything was open. And I was like, hey, I might as, you know, if I don't ever do it, it's never going to happen. So I might as well start making a video. A 454 with a 4-speed. I believe it's like a SM 465. I don't know a whole lot about the manual transmissions on these, but it is 2-wheel drive. I know it needs a lot of panels, a lot of body panels. A lot of the doors are shot on it. I'll kind of show you. The interior is pretty rough. There's a lot of rot on this truck, but I think that I can get it to the point where, you know, it can be on the road again. I bought it for $400, so I think it was a deal of a deal. And they said that when it was parked, it ran. Originally a diesel truck. We went to the junkyard that they had another square body exactly like this one that was wrecked, but it had the 454 in it. They swapped everything over into this pickup, but it needs rockers. All 4 rockers need to be changed. It needs a driver floor pan. It needs the pillars, the B pillars at the very bottom. Both sides need to be supported really well. They're pretty rotted down low. Like this back door, this is the back passenger. When you open it and close it, you can pretty much watch the bottom like moving. So I'm gonna do everything I can to get this thing back on the road. I had the seats, one of them's over there. It's junk. I don't plan on putting that back. I do have the back bench seat. I think I'm gonna throw a cover on it and throw it back in once I get some carpet or something after I fix everything. So this thing, from what I'm told, they said it needed a drive shaft. We'll kind of find out. I have it, but it needs all new U-joints, but it is good. And then it needs the straps on the rear end. I don't know if the fuel tanks on this thing are any good. I hope so. They look okay. They don't look like they have any rot on the tanks themselves. Trying to think, you know, it needs new tires. So I'll probably do all the brakes on it. They had a flatbed on it, and it's got like a frame extension that they put on it. And dude, I had a hell of a time getting that thing off, but I finally got it off. A little sketchy, but it worked. I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna try to find a normal bed because I'd like to put a goose hitch in it at some point, gooseneck ball or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it, but my goal is to make this the toy hauler. So that is my plan. Oh, but anyway, I was saying is I was told it needed a starter. Starter's bad. I think the nose cone was broken on this one or something like that. It needed a radiator, and then the carburetor was no good. I mean, my plan is to just buy the radiator. I'll probably get a rebuild kit for the carburetor, and then I'll get a starter and just try to see if it runs. And then we'll start, you know, getting everything up and going. Like I'll put, new plug wires, new spark plugs, all the things that, you know, you would start with, stuff like this. I'll try to get going. But I want to film everything that I do to this truck to get it back on the road. And I want to film all of our track trips with the half and half. And then maybe in the future, I'll have some friends and their builds come on, and they'll I'll have them explain like their trucks and their builds. My good friend Chris, he has the black S10 I was talking about earlier. It's a nasty truck, man. And then I have another buddy, Mike, who has it's an all-wheel drive S10, or not S10, Silverado. It's a cat eye. It's kind of got the same ordeal going that the other S10 has, but all-wheel drive, and it's on 17s. I don't know what size tire, but it's on radials. But he just got his transmission in, so we'll have that one on the road soon, and then maybe I can get him on. But yeah, so if y'all have any questions or anything, just let me know. I'll be happy to answer anything. Not the smartest, but I've tinkered and on everything. So I hope y'all enjoy, and hopefully I'll have some videos out soon. We'll see. Hopefully, I know this week we have Cruise on Main here in Ada. I'm gonna have this out at that, and then we're hoping I'm gonna try to get the nitrous kit done this week. We need to get our mother bottle filled, and then we can start trying to I think we're gonna try to go to a test and tune, kind of see what this thing can handle. We're not sure. I have no clue. This is the first thing I've ever LS swapped, so it's not perfect by any means. I'd like to hear some of y'all's opinions on some of the things on this truck. I mean, if there's something you have a question about, I'll add it in the next video or something, but this is all my budget. I don't make, I make less than 50,000 a year, so, and this took me over a year to build. So I love it for what it is. It's not perfect, which means, hey, you ain't worried about shopping carts hitting the thing, but it's fun, okay? All we want to do is have fun. Also in the futures, I plan on getting a side-by-side. I'd like to do some river riding videos or something at one point. I've kind of got my head wrapped around that square body outside, but it'll all work out. But anyway, like I said before, my name is Cruz, and welcome to Half and Half Garage.